Miller, and I'm a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator in Basking Ridge, New Jersey. And I go live every Wednesday at 5 p.m. Eastern Time to share with you things that are going on in my stamping room. And this week I am sharing a glimpse of all the new DSP that will be coming in the September to December catalog. And my biggest order that I place with Stampin' Up! Is always that first order with the new catalog. Last week I shared the unboxing, but we just got a little view of the cover of each of the designer series papers. This time I have already prepped my paper share for those of you who might be interested. So, meaning a sample of my paper share. And I am going to walk you through that so that you can see all the gorgeous papers that are coming and what you have to look forward to. So let's go ahead and get started. Okay, so as you can see here, I have got some sticking out there. This is how I do my paper share. I cut all of the designer series paper into 6x6 pieces, and then I package them with a cover sheet for each one so that you know what's the name of the designer series paper, as well as the colors that are in it and the size of the paper that the way it comes naturally. So these are in no particular order, but this one happens to be on top. This is Winter Dreams. This specialty paper, I'm gonna just make myself a step over here. This specialty paper, I did open last week a little bit so that we could see. You can see that it is single-sided, okay? And the reason for that, well, I don't know if it's the reason, but the paper is raised. Let's see if we can show that. So the design on the paper is raised. See that? So you can see that it kind of pops off the paper, the design, and it's not flocking and it's not embossed. It's not something, well, maybe it is. Maybe it is something that maybe got applied to the paper afterwards. But it's almost as if they took, and they didn't, but if they took our two-tone paper and then sanded off an image like that was embossed on there. So that's what it feels like. That's what it looks like. But it comes with 3 different designs. That is one, perfect for snowflakes, right? This one would make a great background, kind of looks like a sweater, right? So we've got that. You can see that it's a little raised. And then finally, we've got big snowflakes, and these are so pretty. A little is going to go a long way, I think, with this paper. So that is the first one. And this is part of the online exclusives. I think I said that before, but I'm not sure. Okay. And again, these are in no particular order. The next one is called Yuletide Carols. And you can see this is one giant sheet. It says One Horse Open Sleigh across the top. And then the rest of the page, I believe, is the music, the sheet music. So that is going to make a great background. And I'm going to show the flip side of these as we go through, because you get 2 of each sheet, meaning one of one side and one of the other, although both sides work. So this is another sheet of music. I do love using music sheets when I make my Christmas cards. I think it's very festive. So, hey, Anne Marie, welcome. Thanks for joining. This is a sheet that has that can be cut apart into cards, different size cards. So you can't really see them here. Usually I do cut them apart, but this time I guess I didn't notice it, so I hadn't cut it apart. But you can see it's other songs. Now, I am not a musical person, so this means nothing to me, but it definitely looks to me like real music sheets. Maybe somebody can chime in and tell us if it looks real. So, but the Wassail Song and Adeste Fidelis. All right, and this is the reverse side of some of those sheets. Okay, now some of the packages, like this one, you get 4 different designs, meaning they're double-sided though, and you get 3 of each sheet. I believe this is one of those packages. So, but for every package of DSP, you're going to get a quarter of each sheet. Okay, so a quarter of the entire package. So I'm just flipping through, and after a while they kind of look the same to me. And again, part of it is because some are the same because you've got extra sheets here. There's only 4 designs, so that's how that goes. And then we have extras of these. So you can see repeating here, meaning that this is some of that paper that you're going to get extra sheets, and that just makes, you can make several of the same card using the same paper, which you can't always do. Okay, this one is going to be a favorite. This is called Sunflower Fields. Sunflowers are so hugely popular in general. The sunflower embossing folder barely has a chance to stay in stock. Everybody picks that up. And so this paper also goes with a new sunflower stamp set in the new catalog, but I'm just focusing on the paper today. But this is Sunflower Fields, and we're going to walk through. So I think for me, I mentioned this before, but Cajun Craze is my go-to fall color. That seems to be the only time of year I use it too, but I use a ton of it, so I think that works. But wait till you see the next one. Look at that. Isn't that gorgeous? Isn't that paper just so pretty? And then this one, which combines a little bit more of they're not mums. Okay, that's another thing I don't know. Now you've learned, I don't know music and I don't know flowers. But all I know is it is pretty. Loving this one, this page. Here we go. You can see which, sometimes there is an up and a down. All right, so these are the pages that have the bigger designs on them, and then we're going to get to the flip side of those pages, which are some designs that can go with them, right? So we've got a grid, we've got a Cajun Craze grid, we've got some old olive stripes. I can't tell you how often I use old olive striped paper. You find it in a lot of different packages, but it goes so nicely as a little accent on most cards that have flowers, and we all know that flowers are one of the biggest sellers for Stampin' Up. Some nice polka dots, stripes, pecan pie in there, and a pecan pie grid. All right, so yes, that paper is amazing. All right, this next one is a specialty paper. It's called All Wrapped Up, and this is a very shiny, heavier weight paper. If you watched it, my last paper share video from the spring, we had an Easter paper, and it was very similar to this. It's a heavier weight, and it is single-sided, so you see the reverse side. But check out, there's silver on here. So not only is it a glossy paper, it also has silver. These little stems here are silver. They're also silver polka dots. So this is great for maybe making a box or just adding to a page, of course. You can use it as regular paper, but if you're doing a 3D item, sometimes it's really helpful to have a heavier weight paper to work with. And this is going to be your go-to for that. So, hey, Margot, thank you for joining. Got that. Okay, next pattern. So you see you get 2 of them. Because there are 12 sheets, and so you get 1 from each sheet, and so there are 2 sheets that are the same, but the reverse side is single-sided, right? We talked about that. So that's pretty too, but again with the silver, there you go. Kind of see where that is. And then this greenery I can see using all year long. Definitely does not scream, Christmas or anything. I think this is going to be very versatile. And then finally, well, not finally, but we've got this plaid with the silver. This thin stripe is silver. I just love how that looks, and that will be very festive. And then we've got some more greenery. And we can see that the leaves on this, the leaves are silver, while the background is green. And then now finally we've got all these bows, so you can see that that's going to be really pretty. And these skinnier bows are silver. There you go. Okay. Next up, this one is called Hearth and Home, and this is, again, 12 by 12 paper, but it is along the same lines as some DSP that we have in the current catalog that are um, the 12 by 12 page is divided into blocks. There are 3 by 3 blocks and 4 by 4 blocks. And so what I've done is I've cut apart the ones that are not necessarily evenly cut, but these are some of the, I couldn't just cut in half, right? I couldn't just do 6 by 6 pieces for these 4 by 4 squares. So I went ahead and just cut them apart for you. And you can see that each of these squares has a different design. You get 3 sheets of each when you purchase the package. So that means that's lots of squares that match, which is always nice to have. And I am going to flip this one over because I don't think there's another way to see it. So the reverse side of all of this sheet, because this is one piece of paper, is this diagonal stripe. So that's a nice neutral to have. Okay, so these are the 4 by 4 squares, right? And so here are some of the 3 by 3 squares. All right, we've got this one and this. Look at this. This is going to be great for the holidays, right? I think. And then just having some neutrals. Look at that hydrangea hue. That's going to be a wonderful addition. It goes along with some of the other designer series papers that we have. All right, here's some more. Sunflowers. So it becomes like a little sampler, right, of all different kinds of designs that you can find in the mini catalog. So that it'll mix and match with lots of things. So we've got some poinsettias here. And people have used these in lots of different ways, and I encourage you to go and look online to see the different ways that people have done this. We've got some more sunflowers. Is this the same? I'm not sure. So this reverse side has this pink. Let's see what else. We have the reverse side of the last one. Actually, we'll probably see it again now that I think about it, but it's a wood tone. So this is that. Here we go. Some more of these with the wood tone background. So again, these are great designs to have and to be able to mix and match. Some more poinsettias. This is definitely a Christmas vibe on it. But that is very fun to work with. And like I said, a lot of people have done some really great things. All right. Here's a Christmas one. Hi, Margaret. Thank you for joining. We've got North Carolina and California in the house. Woohoo. All right. We've got this Timeless Christmas 12 by 12 paper. All right, so this one has the added advantage of a sheet of labels. So again, I cut them apart to make it packageable for a paper share, but also to be able to see on my camera. This is just how I have set up, so we need to be able to, to fit everything onto the camera. So you can see we've got these, which will make nice focal points for, places for sentiments. We've got a tag here and just a background. This one has a couple more tags, and you'll see this paper in the sampler, in the package. And we've got some more that cut apart. And you can see the reverse side of all this is this red polka dot, which I can see using all the time. So if you don't want to use the tags, you don't have to worry. You can go ahead and use the reverse side. The little gingerbread man, adorable. Christmas trees, can't go wrong. And all of these are from, I think we saw this already, that same sheet. So you're going to get a full sheet of all those pieces because the way that the package is designed. So that's always fun for a paper share to get something like that. Okay, so now we have, so again, this is a paper share that has, it's a paper package that has just, I think, 3 different designs with 4 of each. So you're getting quite a bit of the paper. So we've got this on one side and we've got this on the other. So we'll see that. So again, you have multiples. We've got this. This green is going to be so popular. If you don't have Peaceful Pine and you make Christmas cards, you're going to want to grab some Peaceful Pine cardstock so that you have something to match all of this with. And real red too, but always Peaceful Pine. We've got these snowflakes. These are the reverse side. You can see the reverse side of that. And so we saw that in the little sampler, as did we see this, these little holly berries. So that is that package. Okay. I don't even know what I'm doing anymore. Okay. Next one is Autumn Opulence, and I talked about this one last week when I showed you. It's a specialty paper, and I couldn't understand why it was a specialty paper, because it does not have a it doesn't have any like gold or special treatment to it. But what it does have is a sheet of punch outs, and you get an entire sheet. So you get every single one of these punch outs, because again, the way that the package is designed. So we've got a bunch of little acorns. So if you like our ephemera packs, you're going to love this package of paper, because it comes with the ephemera in it. So we've got lots of, little things that you can decorate your cards with, your scrapbook pages. We also have little tags to make, to put your sentiments on. Great for scrapbookers. So, it's not just single use, right? So we've got this. We can do our label. Let me just show you the reverse side of the die cuts is just plain white. This, everybody gets one of these wreaths. I mean, this is going to be great for Thanksgiving. For the fall, we've got some more leaves, some more acorns, some more places that we can put our sentiment if we want, or any other message. We've got a journaling block for those of you who do scrapbook. And look at this, it makes a little pocket. So it's not scored, but it does have like faint dotted lines. So if you just go ahead and score on those lines and then fold it and adhere this part to your page, it becomes a pocket. So that's great for, it could be for a card or for a scrapbook page to put little memories in there. So you get all of these, which is so much fun, I think. I think you get all of them. If not, you get half of them. So I apologize if I'm saying that wrong. So these are the DSP. So we've got that design. Look at this. Isn't that a rich, beautiful design for the fall? And always popular is when they throw Blackberry Bliss into anything. At least when I do my senior classes, my goodness, if there's Blackberry Bliss, they go bananas. We've got this plaid. I love that it looks like a textured plaid, right? Nice look to it. Look at this. Just beautiful. So again, Autumn Opulence. So this is the reverse side of those sheets that we saw. I think, did we see some of these already? I can't remember, because again, the way that the paper comes. So these are some nice neutrals to add to your card. You can see on this one, it has leaves in the background, right? Looks kind of like watermarked. And so that is that set of Designer Series paper. The next one is called Texture and Tone. So these are some nice neutrals that can be used on any kind of card, just to give a little bit of balance. And we've had a lot of this kind of paper, not a lot, but in every catalog there has been some. And that's so that you have something to, fall back on when you need just a little accent, something a little extra. You don't want to have too many super busy things and bright all together. You want to kind of give it some balance. So this is the Texture and Tone 12 by 12. So we've got this black, kind of like pinking shears, right? And we have, so again, you're going to get multiples of these. So we have that check. We've got some more, we've got some more Old Olive, and this looks like maybe Mossy Meadow stripes. Again, I'm telling you, I use this all the time. I'm always reaching for it. We've got some little X's, and this is a vanilla background as opposed to white, which is what many of our black and white things are, black and white. We've got this fun dots, and we've got another pink check. Okay. All right, the next one is A Little Christmas, and this is one of those that has a sheet of pieces that can be cut out and used as pieces on a card or a scrapbook page. And the one unusual thing about it is that it has 12 by 12, actually two of them. Two of those die cuts. So I need to, I'll probably ask the question of everyone if you want yours to be 12 by 12 or 6 by 6, because it's much easier to ship if I cut it in half. But if you need it in 12 by 12, I will try to find a way to do that and change the shipping price. But or maybe not. Depends on what I can get it, what kind of envelope I can get it into. But that is something that we don't normally have, is a 12 by 12 strip. We do see 12 by 12 strips in our scrapbooking kits, but not usually on a piece of paper. But if you wanted to cut it in half, that certainly would be perfectly good for a card if you're making a card. And here's some more of those little elements that you can add, so little tags. Look at this little kitchen. Isn't that cute, with a wreath on the fridge? So 1950s kitchen maybe, right? And we've got a little scene here, so you can write at the bottom if you wanted to. Some candy canes. We've got a Christmas tree. This is great for, what a perfect card you can make, right? Just put it on a card base and you're good to go. Maybe add a little sentiment. We've got this room with all the books, personal favorite of mine. And we have a little gingerbread house, sort of. And we've got a chair in front of the fire. So that is adorable. And this is the reverse side of that paper. So again, if you don't want to use the different cutouts, you can certainly chop up the background and use that as you'd like. But the highlight, I think, of this paper is the little mice. Okay, so it goes with an adorable stamp set that has little mice as well. But here they are baking, decorating a little gingerbread house. And we've got some stripes. That'll be great. And then this one is a plaid. There they are singing, and they're Christmas caroling, right? Hi, Anne. Welcome from Kansas. We've got some more mice filling the stockings and decorating the tree. And again, we've got some more of those designs. And again, you'll get multiples based upon the distribution of the package of 12 by 12 paper. This comes in really handy. Look at this. How cute are they in the stockings? This makes it really easy to make multiples of a holiday card. I don't know how many you send, but in my team meeting, I asked, and most people sent 30 to 60 cards. That, obviously a wide range of cards that they might make. Some people send photo cards, but I send a whole lot more than that. It is my business, right? So I'm going to send a lot of cards. But it's always helpful to be able to make a couple at a time. So, okay, that's that adorable paper. Next up, we have Alpine Winter, and this one is one of the online exclusives. And so these are very pretty. That goes with a snowy, a snowshoeing, actually, stamp set. So we'll take a look at these. We've got some wood grain, very manly, great for, people who maybe like to go skiing. Got these backgrounds. Pine cones get me every time. I love pine cones on any kind of card. We have a snowdrop background. Look at this stripe. Isn't that great? I think this is going to be fabulous for manly cards. We've got another plaid, also great. And this lovely background, like a ski slope. I'll do the ski run there. Maybe not. And then we've got some great buffalo checks. So we've got it in the red and the green. And then this lovely background of trees. It really makes a beautiful backdrop for a very simple focal point. So it really would make it a very pretty card. Okay, now we have Neutral Noel. And this one is a specialty paper. It, again, is that thicker weight that we talked about. It's glossy, like we talked about. And it has that shimmery gold. So this, you're going to get, 2 of each, 2 squares of each. And this, see how it shines. And you can see the reverse side is white. And again, this will make great 3D items or accents on your cards. This is all gold, which is so pretty. All right, we've got our trees. Look at how the trees, the centers of them are the gold. Kind of hard to show with a little speckled background in there, or Swiss dot, if you will. This is actually kind of raised. You can even see it. It's like a tile, right? Looks like a tile. Super pretty. Specialty papers. So there are 6 different designs in here, and you can see that these are going to go a long way because you're probably not going to use a ton on any one card. Okay, or that's how I would do it. So these are really sprigs. You can see it's got some pine cones in there, and again, it's that textured look. Okay. Next up, Whispering Woods. Now this is the paper that is, for every package sold, $3 will be donated to organizations throughout the world to bring additional cheer to the holidays, is I believe the way it's worded. I did read it last week from the catalog. So we've got our Whispering Woods, and so you will see me use this a lot. There are only 4 different designs in here, double-sided, so you will get extras of each one of these. I just love the colors in this. So it's the pretty peacock. It's that lighter green. It's kind of like a stamped off version of maybe garden green, something like that. So that's one. Look at this. Some of my favorite colors in here. So pretty. We can use it for lots of different things. We've got some trees, very watercolor look, kind of similar to a set we had a number of years ago. So this is another one that looks from that. You can see duplicates here, and here's some of the reverse sides we'll get to. So we've got some moose and some bears, a little bunny rabbit there, we've got a little fox. We've got some scenes. We've got some brush strokes, tiles, bricks in those colors that will match. Okay, so you can see those are the different sheets. All right, so again, you're going to see me use a lot of that. Okay, painted patch. So we're back to, again, I said these were in no particular order, but these are for the fall. So we've got painted patch. We've got some Cajun grays going on here, some golden glow, and then pulling them all together on these really fun pumpkins. And you can see that they use some maybe unusual colors, throwing that pool party in there, but it's a very popular combination for the fall. We've got some more. This is more of a neutral, a pink there. Here we go again with a black background now. And a little more densely designed paper. And then these are the reverse sides that can mix and match with those busier sides, right? All right, this is a great stripe. I just love that. I will be using that. Let's see. I will probably use this side of this particular page. Loving these stripes for any time of year. I know you saw me use a lot of Calypso Coral this summer. Just a great color. And here, perfect little pumpkins. So there's that. And I believe this is the last one. This one is called Mosaic Garden. And I just want to remind everyone that we're a global company. So we are also in the Southern Hemisphere, which means that it's going to be, well, right now it's winter there. So their summer is going to be when we're doing all of our snow cards and Christmas cards, etc. So here's a little bit of maybe more summery styles that can be used by them, but also we can use them any time of year. So this is Mosaic Garden collection. Look how pretty. Just loving it. Here we go. Just see some very fun combinations. Colors. There's that crisp cantaloupe. Gotta love it. Love it, love it. Pretty peacock, can't go wrong. Here's Pretty Peacock and Crisp Cantaloupe and Hydrangea Hue. What a great combo, huh? I think. And then these are the reverse sides. So again, this helps balance out those busier designs maybe. I love this. Again, back to the the old olive stripes, if you will. I'm going to be using that a lot. We've got some, this, you know, you can see that it looks more like, rather than a solid piece, it's like a little watercolory. And I feel like I saw that already. And this. So that is all of the designer series paper. What I don't have yet, only because my order was so big, I had to stop. But what I don't show is the the foily specialty paper. So there are 4 of those, 4 packages of those, where you would get 2 of each. And they are the shiny foils in bright colors. There's some glimmer paper that goes with the autumn colors and DSP. So that's something else to look forward to. That will be included in the paper share. So I'll be sharing information about the paper share a little later in August, but I wanted to make sure that everybody got to see all of the new gorgeous designs that we're going to be working with for our holiday cards and everything else come the fall. So again, that is from, all of this is from the September to December catalog that will be launching on September 1st. You'll probably see lots of samples during the month of August, because demonstrators got to pre-order, as you can see here, so that we can get our hands on it, so we can start playing with it and developing our projects for our classes that we'll be holding in the fall. So look for that. And if you have any questions or have interest in my paper share, I can get you on my list and get you the information as soon as it's available. But thank you for joining me, and we'll see you the next time. Bye-bye.